What's up, guys? Welcome to my page. My name is Danny, and you probably found me here because you are one, a busy professional, two, new to your fitness journey, and you are looking for a workout plan. You're looking for something to get you started, don't really know what to do, kind of intimidated by the overcomplicated exercises that you see all around, a lot of fancy terms, a lot of complex movements. So what I'm gonna do today, I'm gonna take you through a very basic chest workout, something that really anybody can do, a minimal amount of equipment. It's going to get you a good pump in your chest. It's gonna have you feeling really good, and it's gonna set up a very, very good foundation for you moving forward. But before we wanna get into our true exercise movements, we wanna go through some joint mobility drills. We wanna make sure that our joints are nice and lubricated, that we are preventing injuries before we get started. So let's go check those out. So we're gonna start out with some very basic neck extensions and neck rolls. Everything in the body is connected from your top down to your bottom. So whether you're working your chest, your back, or your lower bodies, you wanna make sure that you are nice and loose all the way around. Do 5 of these. And then just like in PE when we were kids, big circles, front and back, 5 each way. Want to make sure that we are nice and lubricated in our shoulders. Make sure we get each side. Very important not to skip these. We want to make sure that when we're getting started, that we do not injure ourselves. Injuries cause major setbacks. They decrease our motivation, decrease our productivity. Any gains that we've been seeing, that it kind of negates those. Cross front and back. Use a PVC pipe, stretch bar, anything that you might need. A broom handle even. Up and over. Get a good stretch in the chest. And then for older people like me, we want to make sure that we are stretching our hips. Keeping your mobility going. As we age, we'll prevent injury long term. Roll your ankles out, because again, everything is connected. And leg swings, front and back. And we're gonna go side to side. I don't see the need for doing treadmill walking, stationary bike, or anything like that before we get started. This is plenty, and then we'll do some warm-up sets before we jump into our working weights. Again, you see it's a nice basic stretch to your hamstrings, to your glutes. Get you ready to go. All right, so here we have your basic bench press. Now, before we start getting into a lot of weight, we wanna make sure that we have correct form when we're doing this. Bad form not only leads to injury, leads to muscle aches, it'll also neglect gains because you're not working your muscles properly. So you have your bench press, you wanna make sure that you're set up properly, head of the bench under the bar, so when you lay back, your eyes are about even here with the bar. Now your grip's one of the most important things when you're working through a bench press here. So you want your grip to be slightly wider than shoulder. I like to go off of my landmarks on my bar if you have them. You have 2 little indentations right here off of the grip. So I put my pinky fingers at those, thumbs wrapped around to keep stability on the bar. You lift up, you want your elbows to be facing in at about a 45-degree angle. If you are very wide, it's going to cause rotator cuff injuries. So in a little bit, control the movement down to the bottom of your chest, hold for a second, and you're going to push back up towards the rack. Again, elbows in, thumbs gripped, bottom of the chest, push back up. So that's your basic grip, that's your basic form. And now we want to do a couple warm-up sets just to get the blood flowing into our main muscles. So when we get into our heavy weight, it's going to make it easier to lift because our muscles are expecting that. Before I get into my true working sets, I like to do 2 sets of around 10 reps on my warm-ups to make sure that I'm ready to move serious working weight here. So again, we're gonna sit back. Eyes are going to be even with the bar. We're gonna find our proper hand placement. Grip good, thumbs around. Brace your core, push down, push your shoulder blades into the bench. Lift, keep your elbows tucked in slightly. Control the weight down, hold for a second, push back up to the rack. I want to do 10 of these. And then I do a minute rest in between. Very important to time your rest periods. You don't want to just guess. You want to look at a watch or a clock. You want to set a timer on your watch for proper rest periods to give your muscles time to recover before you keep lifting. Now that we've done our 2 warm-up sets, we want to make sure that we're staying hydrated throughout this whole thing. Our heart should be beating, our muscles should feel good. So we're gonna put on some heavier weight here. I can't tell you what weight to start at. That's gonna be a trial and error as you go. You do want to start light. You don't want to overdo yourself when you're just getting into this. So we're gonna do 4 working sets. So our sets want to be between 8 and 12 reps. This is going to promote maximum muscle growth, maximum hypertrophy, which means muscle building. So you want the last couple reps of your sets to be what's called failure. You want it to be a hard set to push, a hard weight to push. If it's too easy, if you're able to get 12 or more reps, you want to go up on your weight. If you can't quite hit 8, you want to come down. That 8 to 12 mark is going to be your magic spot. Starting, I highly suggest having a gym partner or a spotter to make sure that you know what you're doing with your weight so you don't injure yourself, or make sure you have a catch rack. Your squat racks normally have bars that you can put in. So if the weight is too heavy, it doesn't drop on your chest, it drops on the catch bars. So safety is the most important key here. We don't want to hurt ourselves, we don't want to injure ourselves, we don't want to cause more harm than good right now, right? So into our working sets here. Again, proper placement is where we start. Eyes under the bar, our good hand position. You don't want to be too far one side, too far the other side. It makes the weight wobbly, leads to injury. So we want to make sure our grip is even disbursement of the weight. Eyes under the bar, up and back to lift, elbows slightly tucked, thumbs wrapped around the bar. Control the movement down to your chest. Pause for a second. Push back up. when we're in our working sets, I like to time my rest periods to 90 seconds. So 1.5 minutes is going to make sure you have proper time to recover so your muscles aren't too fatigued when you're going into your next set. So set my watch. Every set I'm doing, I'm making sure that my form is proper. When your form starts getting bad is when you start getting injury. If the weight is too heavy and you're having bad form, lower the weight until you get the form down perfectly. Eyes under the bar, good grip strength, thumbs wrapped around, up and off, elbows slightly tucked, control down, up. Set 2, so we're gonna finish 4 sets of these. Make sure you stay hydrated. Water bottle, fill it up a couple times while you're here. Set your timer for 90 seconds. Knock out 2 more sets, then we'll get into our next exercise. Four sets, you should be feeling good, your heart should be beating, maybe breaking a little bit of a sweat right now. Gonna make sure we clear our rack, proper gym etiquette. Then we are going to jump into incline chest press. So our next couple movements are gonna be an incline. So our incline is really gonna focus on our upper chest. We wanna make sure that we're set up at a 45-degree angle here. If you're too high, you're gonna work more shoulders. If you're too low, you're gonna work more mid-chest. And with inclines, we're really trying to focus on our upper chest build right here. So get it to a 45-degree angle. And for weight selection, it's gonna be significantly lower than what you're doing on your traditional flat press. So find the proper weight. And we're gonna do 3 sets. We're gonna do the same 8 to 12 reps. Form is very important with these as well, especially using dumbbells. It can cause a lot of stress on your shoulders. So you wanna make sure that you're holding the weights properly. You wanna make sure that you have proper elbow placement to make sure you're preventing injury. So we're gonna start at the side of our chest, elbows slightly in, up and inward motion directly over our chest. You want to control the movements down. Pause for a second at the side of your chest, back up here. You see how I'm not going super wide out here? That causes stress on my shoulder and my rotator cuff. I don't have my elbows out. They're tucked in at my side a little bit. Weight slightly in and up. Control the movement down, control the movement up. If you can't control the movement, you need to go down in your weight. And if you need to, start with the lower weight to get your form correct before you get into higher weights. Bad form will negate any progress. With these rest periods, we're going to rest 60 to 90 seconds. You can lower the rest time if you need to because the weight is slightly lower. You don't need as much time to recover with your muscles on this one. So let's rest 60 seconds. Let's finish our 3 sets of 8 to 12. Again, make sure you're timing your rest periods properly. Proper form, elbows tucked, weight slightly in, thumbs over the dumbbells, control up, control down. right, definitely should be feeling the pump here in the chest right now. Heart should be racing, a little sweat on your head. Make sure you're staying hydrated with your water. Our next exercise, we're going to be doing incline dumbbell flies. We're gonna go down and weight again. Form is going to be super important on this one. This one can cause a lot of stress again on your shoulders and on your rotator cuffs. So we'll walk you through proper form. With your flies, we're gonna keep the same bench angle on the incline because we're really focusing on our upper chest, and with the flies, our mid chest here. Get your lighter weight. The lighter, the easier when we're first starting. Because again, form is very, very important here. We don't want to cause injury, which is going to prevent us from working out in the future. Lay back, elbows slightly extended here, weight on the side, and you're going to control the movement down, hold it, push back up. So you're squeezing at your top here, you're taking your triceps out of the workout here and really focusing on your chest. So with this, we're gonna do 3 sets of 10 to 12. With the same 60 to 90 second rest period. Definitely feeling it now. So 3 sets, we're done here. We're gonna go into our final exercise. We're gonna go into our dips. So dips are key to engaging your lower chest right here. We don't wanna focus on just one spot. We wanna make sure that we have a nice broad chest all around, that we're symmetrical through and through. And dips are one of my favorite exercises to make sure that we're targeting that lower chest right there. Dips, there's a couple different variations that you can do if you can't quite get the movement down, if you're still working through that strength progression. So you can put a bench under you and do 1 foot assisted dips here. Or if your gym has one of the machines that have the weighted assist on there, feel free to use those. You can wrap a band around this to give you a little boost as well. And because we're targeting a new area of our chest, we're gonna do 4 sets of 10 to 12. All the way down, just break parallel with your elbows, push up, and now you wanna make sure that you're leaning a little bit forward here, is where you're going to get your lower chest engagement. Same 60 to 90 second rest. Control your movements. So after you finish up your 4 sets of your dips, we are finished. You should be feeling a good pump in your chest, a little bit of work in your triceps, a little bit of sweat. So that's a very basic beginner chest workout. Make sure you focus on your form. We don't want to have ourselves injured, which is going to set ourselves back. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and I will answer them as we go. Thanks for following along, guys. Hey guys, so I want you to keep in mind that that was a very basic chest routine, meant to start off with. There's a lot of different aspects that go into strength building, muscle endurance, and weight loss. So as we progress through our weeks, our months, and our fitness journey here, we want to focus on a couple different things to make sure that we're seeing optimal results. The most important thing that we can do is focus on our nutrition. You cannot outwork a bad diet. So we really want to focus on our macros, mainly our protein and our calories. So ideally, you should be aiming for 1 gram of protein for ideal body weight, whether that be you want to lose weight, you want to gain weight. So say you are 180 pounds and you want to get down to 170. You want to get about 170 grams of protein a day into your diet. There's multiple different ways to do that. You want 90% of your protein intake to mainly be from whole foods: chicken, fish, beef, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, eggs. Those are all good whole protein sources. Sometimes that if you're not able to hit it off of whole foods, we need a supplement, and that's where your protein powders, your protein bars come into place. Then we want to focus on calories. So calories very basically is a unit of a measurement. So we also want to focus on our calories. So calories very basically is a unit of a measurement of energy burned. So if you want to lose weight, you need to burn more calories than you're eating. If you want to gain weight, you need to eat more calories than you're burning. There's a couple different ways that we burn calories. You have your resting metabolic rate, which is just your daily calorie consumption from living, from going through your day-to-day activities, breathing, sitting. Nothing really impacts that. Then you have your exercise activity. That's your working out, that's your cardio, that's your purposeful movements that usually burns your extra calories. Then you have your thermal effect of food. You actually burn calories from eating food. And you have the highest thermal effect from protein. Burn more calories eating protein than you do anything else. And then you also have your NEAT, your non-exercise activity. That's your day-to-day walking, typing, fidgeting. So most people think that you burn the most calories from your exercise, but you actually burn the most calories from your resting metabolic rate. The way to get that resting metabolic rate up is to put on more lean muscle. So muscle burns fat as you're sitting there. The more lean muscle that you have, the more calories you are going to burn throughout the day. So the question I get asked a lot is, what is the best diet that I should be on? And the straight answer is, it really depends on you. The best diet is the one that you can follow on a consistent basis, the one that you can do day in and day out. We know fad diets don't really work. If you go on a fad diet, you might lose the weight, but what happens when you stop? That weight comes right back on. So what we're looking for here is long-term sustainable results. So find something that you can stick to day in and day out. It all boils down to counting your calories, your protein, your fats, and your carbs. When we're talking about fats and carbs, those are things that we do not want to eliminate from our diet. We do not want to say I'm carb free or I'm fat free. We need those sources to fuel our body. That's what gets us through some of our lower intensity to moderate intensity exercises. Without the fuel from carbs and fats, we feel sluggish, we feel tired, we hit a rock halfway through our day because our body is yearning for those sources of fuel. So do yourself a favor. Just stick to something that you can do day in and day out. Do not cut everything out from your diet. Do not go on a crazy fad, I'm going to lose 10 pounds in 2 weeks diets, because that's one, not healthy, and it's two, it's not sustainable. Again, we're looking for long-term sustainable results, something that's going to greatly improve our health. And doing a fad diet does not do that. Find a diet plan, stick to it. If you need recommendations for a true diet plan, let me know and I can point you in the right direction. Another important factor as we're trying to get into our fitness journey is staying hydrated. So whether you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, you want to drink about 100 to 120 ounces of water a day minimally. If you're trying to lose weight, that water is going to help with that feeling of satiety, which is the fullness feeling. And then just generally speaking, a hydrated cell is a healthy cell. It's going to help push out a lot of the impurities and toxicities that are in our body to make sure that we're functioning at a proper high level at all times. We cannot neglect our rest or our sleep. So you want to make sure that you're getting between 6 and 8 hours of sleep. Your body cannot fully recover or function if we're not resting properly. Sleep is very, very important. So you want to make sure that you're practicing good sleep habits and good sleep hygiene. So what good sleep habits and hygiene means is no scrolling on your phone an hour before bedtime. You want to eliminate blue screens before bed, which is your phone, your laptop, or your tablet. It helps you get into a more rested mode. You want a cool, comfortable environment. Ideally, 65 degrees is what studies have shown puts you in the optimal sleep patterns. Dark room, try not to have the TV on while you're sleeping. That can cause you to wake up. You can get distracted and it's harder to fall back asleep. We also have to focus on our foundations as well. A lot of people talk about your macros, your proteins, your fats, and your carbohydrates as very important, and they are, but I like to say that you cannot build a castle on a sand base. So you want to make sure your micronutrients are in place. You get your micronutrients from eating your green leafy vegetables, your fruits, making sure that you have a good baseline of mixtures in there. I always suggest a good multivitamin as you're getting into this. This is going to help put your body in optimal mode to burn fat or to build muscle. It's going to make sure that you're staying healthy through this. It'll help fight off illness, sickness, because those are major setbacks. If you get sick in the middle of a workout routine, you can go back multiple weeks. You can put on weight, you can lose muscle mass. You can find it hard to get motivated to get back into the gym. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your body from a whole standpoint. It's not just about picking up heavy things and putting them back down. It's about leading a more healthy and sustainable lifestyle so we can get into these good habits and these good routines. So generally speaking, to stay motivated at the gym and keep going, you want to make sure that you have a good fitness plan. You don't just want to go to the gym guessing about what you're going to do. It's the worst way to get to the gym. It leads to decreased productivity, a lot of time spent at the gym not lifting weights, not doing purposeful movements. So find a good routine and follow it. Know what you're doing. Look your workouts out before you go to the gym the night before or the morning of to make sure you know what you're doing. You mentally prepare yourself to get into that gym mode. Having an accountability partner can be very, very important. A lot of us don't always have the motivation to go. So if you have somebody that you can go with, it will help push you. It'll help hold you accountable to get through those tough times. Motivation comes and goes. You can't always rely on motivation to do things. You need to rely on discipline. Motivation will be great to start you off with. It'll get you going on this journey that you've began. But that motivation will lead to habits. Those habits will lead to discipline. The discipline is what's going to get you up in the morning when you don't feel like it. It's going to make those early mornings a little more bearable. It's going to make the late nights a little more bearable. It's what's going to have you stick to your nutrition plan very strictly because you want to see results. You've made a commitment to yourself to put on muscle, to lose fat, to be in better shape mentally and physically. So develop the discipline. It's a skill set and it can be developed. A lot of us aren't just born with discipline. It doesn't come. Michael Jordan didn't wake up one morning and just say, I'm disciplined. I'm going to go shoot 1,000 free throws a day. You have to cultivate it. You have to have purposeful actions to develop that discipline. You want to make sure that you're having fun with this. If you're not having fun at the gym, then you're not going to really get anywhere. There's no point in doing it. You want to make sure that when you're going there, you're looking forward to it. You're looking forward to the good exercise routine. You're looking forward to the good pump that you're having. You're looking forward to the interaction that you have with other people at the gym. It's a big community. It's a big lifestyle. We're all out there to help each other, so don't feel intimidated. Don't feel afraid to ask somebody. If you don't know a machine, a piece of equipment, or how to do an exercise, go ask somebody there. They are more than willing to help you out. They love doing that stuff. Somebody comes up to me and asks me a proper way to do something, or they see me doing an exercise and they want to learn about it, I really like helping them out. It helps keep me accountable in what I'm doing, and I get to spread the exercise knowledge that I have with other people. So I hope you got a lot of good information from this little session right here. My future videos, they won't be so long, they won't be as in-depth, but I wanted to make sure that we're setting a good foundation for what we're going to be doing moving forward. I'll get into more workouts, beginner exercises. We'll cover our back, we'll cover our legs, we'll cover our biceps, we'll cover our triceps, we'll cover all major muscle groups. but this was just a good foundational setting so you know what to look forward to moving forward if you want to follow along with this, because it's not just about lifting weight. We have to incorporate a whole healthy lifestyle to see the results that we're looking for. Appreciate your time.